All right, everybody. This is big data courses. Unfortunately, we have to do this online for this week, and just because I think it's based on the school's rule, uh, we supposed to have 1 week's online courses request by the school. So today I will go to using I need to use Webex to discuss some of the practical issues about how to use a Spark and the data. So today I would like to demonstrate how to use a Spark and how to use the RDD to read the data. And also last week we introduce a recommendation system, right? So today I will use one of movie data to demonstrate how to run the Spark machine learning library. It's a recommendation system. There's a library about recommendation system. Then we use the data to do the practice. So but the problem is that I can only do this online, so it's kind of weird that I'm not able to see your problem and I'm not able to check if you are working with this. So that's a problem. But let's try, okay? Okay, before we go to the courses and materials, I would like to um, talk about the announcement for the midterm exam. I think I already updated our syllabus. I will also need to share with you now. Then you can take a look. Okay, that's my updated syllabus, but the most important thing is the schedule. Okay, sorry. I need to move it smaller. Okay. Let's go to it in the end. So currently, we are on May 2, right? Originally, it's a project 2 presentation, but obviously I skipped out the project 2, so you don't have a project 2. So today I will just continue talking about Spark. So don't worry. But I just want to mention next week is quite important. Next week is May 9, start this Monday, right? We were going to have a take-home exam, and that would be only for the project 1. And some of the common question or problem are asking on in the classroom. Okay, so we were going to have a take-home exam. It will start on the May 9, 1:30 p.m. And we will finish this take-home exam. That means you need to submit your exam on the May 13, 1:30 p.m. So you got exactly 5 days to do this take-home exam. Basically, you are not allowed to work with others. It's an individual take-home exam, so you have to work by yourself. And I will going to ask you some common questions about these courses. Maybe some ideas, some concept. It won't be very difficult. It's just a concept. Okay, you just try to write. By English, okay. Oh, but if you are not quite sure you how to write by English better, I would suggest you do this way. You can write Chinese, but also you translate as English. I was doing this in English, okay, because it's English talk courses, so I'm not allowed the Chinese take exam. So if you send me all Chinese exam, only thing I can do is I won't grade it. I just give it 0. So very simple. If you can write Chinese, I'm fine. But you must have the English content. So please make sure you understand this part. Okay, I basically will write on the notice on the exam sheet, so you're supposed to know everything what I'm just talking about. 你可以写中文，但是一定要有英文，因为这是英语授课课程。Okay, everything should be English. All right. All right, and so you will have some common question, you write it, and you will have some question and some problems directly related to your project two. Project one, sorry, no project two. Okay. So you will have, for example, for everybody belong to one particular group, right? So you want to understand which group you belong to. That's very important. You can check on your Moodle, and you know your group number. Then you only need to work on the problem associated with your group number. For example, your group number 1, so you just need to do common problem and also the problem associated with the group number 1. Okay, you have to work alone. It's not teamwork. You supposed not to work with your team member. No, you want to do it individually. Because I'm going to ask some questions related to your project 1. So obviously, you're supposed to know some of the detail about project 1. Okay, but I have a certain rule, like I will address it. If somebody help you, for example, you say, hey, professor, this project is who did this part? And I'm not able to know the detail, and somebody tell you the detail. Somebody give you some hint. Then you have to mention in your shift, in your exam sheet. So for example, I'm the guy to do the presentation only, but I have no idea how they did the coding. And in the exam, I might ask you some questions in detail. So you are not able to answer it, right? So you have to ask that person if you want, and that person help you, tell you some idea, but not working with you, okay? Then in your exam sheet, you have to mention this part. Say, somebody, Chao Long, help me on this part. Who did this, help me on this part. Then I will consider it's not cheating. But if you not mention other people's name, especially for those people who help you, then you get in trouble, because I will consider you are cheating, because your answer sheet, once your answer sheet is exactly the same with others, then I was very simple. If there are 2 people's exam sheets are the same, so I will divide by the number of people for the grade. For example, your grade is 100. It's perfect, but unfortunately, another guy has exactly the same answer with you. Then and you didn't, and normally you mention this reference. So for example, you can mention I help somebody. You can also mention I was assisted by somebody. I give. You can give, and you take some help. You also need to mention. But no matter what, if you didn't mention, then I would divide by 2. You have got 100, right? But there are 2 people, they didn't mention it with each other, but however they answer the same, so I divide by 2. If you have 3, I divide by 3. So if we like to work together, it sounds weird, right? If you have 5 people in the group, then I would divide by 5. So each one just get 20. Okay, you will be failed by me. Okay, so don't do that, right? It should be very simple. You just simply to do your part, how much you can know about your project and you work on it, and you mention somebody help you, or you mention I help somebody, then it will be easier for me to do it graded, because I will give those guys who help her for the extra point. I mean, he did a very good job on project, and he is able to, or he willing to help people. Then I can give them credit. Okay, very important. But no matter who help you, you still need to work alone for your exam. So it's not like everybody work together, sit together in the lab and discuss it together. No, suppose you work individually. But you can check with these people in your group, and but once you check it, you need to name it. So name on it. Problem 1 is then you say who help with the ID. Then it would be easier for me to give a credit for those people who work especially well and help other people. So that's my purpose. Okay, that's my purpose. So be aware of this. Be aware of this. Okay. All right, and of course, you will need to submit on time. You need to write on the Word file, and also if there's some problem you might associate with some code you need to upload together. If you can do that, that would be perfect. But not necessarily for our problem you need to have a code. Okay, for some problem probably you might need to think about, but it really depends. Okay, it really depends. Sometimes you can explain on it. That's cool, and maybe you don't need to show the code. Maybe, yeah. But if you know you have some idea about the code you did, that's what you did, then you want to show me the code. That would be perfect. No problem. So any phone is fine. But I just want to ask you if you write on a Word file by English. Okay. And Chinese, if you want to write Chinese, it's okay. It's a supplement. That's not required, but English is required. Okay, English is required. Okay. All right. So you got 1 week to do. So it start from May 9, 1:30 p.m. Then that means you are able to see the exam sheet. Then you can start to work on the whole weeks, and you need to submit before 1:30 on the May 13th. Okay. And very important things are also mentioned there. On May 13th, 7 p.m., we are going to have the final project mentioned on RB102. Okay. It's going to be important for every single group of you. You have to select and choose the one of project on the day on May 13th. I already I already know what kind of project they will offer. There's 6 different projects. All of them are very interesting. I think you can learn a lot from doing this project. I remember there are some of e-commerce real world data, and some of project is related to the recommendation system. Actually, it's highly correlated with what we did now. And also there's one is about text analysis. It's a text mining, I guess, and some technique you might need to find. You already know some based on your project one, right? So, and another one is cross boundaries e-commerce. It's also interesting, very cool. Come with all of the projects, 6 different projects come with the data. So it's going to be interesting. You can learn from it. Okay. So just want to remind, May 9, we have a take-home exam for 5 days. And May 13, we're going to meet at 7 p.m. on May 13. Okay? All right, before I go to class, any comments or any problem you want to ask about a final exam or anything you want to know? If you have question, you can raise your hand, or you can just turn on your microphone, then I can simply answer it. Okay. If no, then we move on, right? Okay. Cool. All right. And I'm not quite sure how many of you already finished the installation of a Spark environment. If you know, then that would be very tricky. Since if you know that, I mean, you probably not learn nothing today, because everything I'm going to teach is based on the system I'm asking you to have this environment. So I don't know, but I do this way. Okay. Because that's very important for me to understand what's happening. I'm going to do a very quick survey. Unknown. I don't need to know who you are. You just need to. My question is, do you have a Spark environment? I mean, Docker do Okay, it's fine. I will send a survey for everyone. Okay. I will send a survey for everyone. Okay. Sorry. Do you? Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Do you finish? Do you have? I want to answer. I want to answer yes. Oh. So please help me on one things. I would like to just so simply answer. I don't know who you are, so don't worry. You just simply say yes or no. I just want a quick survey to know how much of you have an environment, and that will help me to understand what's the problem and what kind of courses I want to go to. So far, it's nice. It's a 19 student have the has a Spark environment. That's cool. That's cool. Keep going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you don't have it, it's fine. You can simply say no, because I don't know who you are, so it's fine. It's okay. Just quickly know what's going on. We still have the 12 people not answer yet, but the 12 people might be MIT, so it's fine. They don't need to answer it. But sounds good. Sounds good. It seems that 24 people over the 39 students which they showed today. We already have they already have the um, assistant they are allow them to work on. Yeah, if you don't have it, it's fine. You just simply say no. I don't know. I don't need to know who you are. I just quit the page. Yeah. Okay. But at least for me, I think it's good enough for me to focus on what we can learn from the Spark environment. But obviously, some students facing trouble that they are not able to have a Spark environment. There's a might be some difficulty. But you can ask us. You can ask me, and also TA during the break. For example, you can screenshot your window, your screen, and then let me know what's the problem is, and then I will probably can help. But it seems that we can do this remotely. It's not very efficient. But no matter what, we try to do this. Okay. So thanks for your survey. I think it's cool. Okay, I'm closing the survey. All right. All right. Okay. So it seems that most of the students have that. So if that's all students, if you have that, please similar, open your VirtualBox, open your Ubuntu system, and make sure you got everything uh, running. When I say everything running is, I will open my the browser. I want to check if this page is the port number is 9870 is running okay. So basically, I'm go to the slides I'm talking about today here. Okay. So if you have a question, raise your hand, open your microphone, stop me as much as you can. But that basically, I want you to start to take a look on the slides. I think I already put it on the Moodle. It's the introduction to PySpark. I don't know. I want to make sure if I already put it. I think so, right? I think I put this on Moodle systems. Introduction to PySpark. Did I? I didn't. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, here. Introduction to PySpark. Take a look on this. Okay. This is one I'm going to today. Introduction to PySpark. I think I have it, right? So that's one I want to talk about today. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, this is not very long, but I want to make sure you have this one. But of course, the IP address, yes, I do create one of system on a very powerful machine, but we're going to use it later. But this powerful machine is I run on my lab. I want to show you the. But this is now I'm asking you to have. But this is a particular server I just built. Right now, I extend it to like 257 gigabyte memory. Okay, so it's a little bit more powerful machine. And here have two nodes and assistance. Very is exactly the same what you have. Okay, but the question is, I'm asking you to do is to do on your own system because I want you to install it by yourself. Okay, so once you is that this IP address, then you're supposed to have a Moodle system in have this system in my Ubuntu, right? This is my browser in Ubuntu. Don't misunderstand that. So I'm able to run in my Hadoop system. This is my Hadoop running, okay? And this is my Spark running, okay? If you see the web page like this, that means you are running okay, yeah, in local, right, master, okay. And if you send to the port 8088, then you see this page, okay, okay. Obviously, some people do this job, okay. So it will be perfect. It will be perfect. And second thing, say you need to check if you are running your Jupyter notebook, okay. My Jupyter notebook is running on this browser, okay? Of course, is running here. This is my Jupyter notebook. You see, I'm open 3 different files. And you're supposed to run this file, particularly this one. Let me introduce. That is exactly one I put it on the introduction for your learning, right? You that is exactly the document I'm showing you here. Okay, all right. So I don't want to misunderstand you because I open multiple browser, but I can open browser on my Ubuntu system. So right now I'm open my all courses and material on my Ubuntu system. It's Ubuntu, okay? You can see on top. So I would just want you to make sure you go through the installation of a Spark. But it seems everybody already have it. That's perfect. That's good. Okay. So I want you to right Docker installation and I want you to go to this one, right? Yeah, that's the one I'm asking, right? And I do update last time, right? I'm trying to let you have Jupyter Notebook running okay. So supposedly you are able to run a very simple code. We just provide, right? We just provide by last time. So I want to make sure I want to explain about this code to you first. Okay, later. Okay. So once you check your environment is running okay, you have this page running okay, then I will allow you to start to run some practice, but I'm not asking you to do this now. I'm just asking you to do on your own web page. So you're supposed to open a file like this. My first spot. This a name. I just named it. Okay, and the first couple of lines, you want to make sure you are able to import a PySpark. And that's a particular library, and this library is trying to link your Spark environment, but you already know your Spark environment. You initiate installation on the BIT and Binami environment. So what is? Okay, I want to talk about this. And today is a little bit more like a practical section. So I open two browser. No, two terminal. This terminal is obviously is running on Jupyter Notebook server. And this another one is one of my folder, and this folder is one is sharing with my local folder on Ubuntu. So you want to make sure you have a one. Do you see my home, my Spark, Hadoop, Dockers, and that's a share folder. That's my share folder. And this is also my share folder. So I wanted this all of that. Yeah, my share folder. You're supposed to see exactly the same information from here to that. My right hand side is I log into like my Hadoop system. Okay. And I type the list and all, then you show the information. And left hand side is my Ubuntu system. Here's my file systems visually, but obviously the two folders are shared with each other. So you're able to see both exactly the same things. So good things is we know that if you can see both of it, you are running okay. Then all of the detail have been shown on your courses slides. So not this one, right? If you go to that, you're supposed to see it. So don't stop the container that I mentioned last time. But I want you to run your first Spark PySpark code. So, but you have to find PySpark, right? So initiate it. So you need initiate. So let's take a look on why. Why I know because when I install it, Spark install it is supposed to in this version of Docker container. You put it on the. You see. You actually need. I should make this screen larger, right? Is that screen look okay to you? I want to make a font size larger. System. Okay. You're doing better. Okay. I'm trying to make it larger because you see on Webex screen. So let's go to the OPT and the where's the folder? I think it's on the bits. So I moved to that one. You see, yeah, that's really the folder called Spark, right? You can also see here, right? That's a folder Spark, right? So I'm pretty okay. So that's why I link it, so I can find my Spark. Then I import a PySpark. You're supposed to import it, install it when your process are asking you to do. So then you need to set out a configuration. The configuration is basically just set where the Spark is and what's the code, what you calling in, and what you want to set some executor memory. I'm just simply assign like a 515 memory megabyte. So you can change, of course. You want more resources, you can ask for more. But at least you set it as a configuration is for your PySpark. So you're running on Spark, right? So you want to set out core maxima. And what's the core maxima? I mean, I want to run on using 2 core. What is a core? It's a CPU, by the way. For my laptop, I'm gonna see you my laptops. Sure. Do you see my laptop's information? Can you go to CPU? That will show how many core you have, and that would be here. I have 4 cores, but each core have a totally have 8 logical processing. But no matter 4 or 8, that is the CPU I have. So that is the one you want to send here. So you have to how many core, and basically the resource you want to assign is the CPU and memory, right? So think about it's cloud computing, and you requires how many CPU and memory for running the job. Okay, so that's one, right? And then you want SC. SC is obviously is variable. It's called a Spark context. So that's why they call SC. But you can change, but of course. But you use a PySpark Spark context and take the configuration based on that. Then you set it on master. If you running okay, it will show you where you are Spark running. And of course, my Spark running on master, that's a 1, right? 7077 port. So if you're running okay, then your results cool. So obviously I run this before, so everything should be fine. So I don't need to rerun it again. So I just want to simply add one slice. I want to add one below, so just want to check if it is running okay. Yeah, if I get a message or something like that, you are running okay, fine. Then I simply read the file. Remember, we create text file on Hadoop, right? Where is it? You can go to your slides and go to the utility browser file systems, and you see this file, right? I'm sorry, the text might be too small. Then I would go into larger, right? Do you see the text file? When you open, you actually can download it if you want to see. Okay, but we don't need to download because remember, when I do the installation, you just put 4 different words on that, right? And do you remember the words? The words I'm asking you to put in I think it's put on somewhere here. It's an example, right? Then suppose if you finish your own installation, you create a cat, dog, lions, pandas, and that's a text file. Then first of all, use a Hadoop file system put to put it into a Hadoop. Then right now, I'm writing code to read it, and suppose it is able to read because where I read is from Hadoop system. Do you check it? What's the differences here? Hey, there's port number differences is for Spark, is for Hadoop, HDFS. HDFS, you see that? So I can use that. Here's the HDFS, is obviously it's a Hadoop file system. And what is that? This is for Spark server. So it's very easy to recognize it. I will simply count how many rows I have. How many rows I have? We have 4, right? Cat, dog. What's it? Cat, dog, lions, and pandas, right? So that's a simple counting. So I'm supposed to be running okay. It's running okay. If you get a result by 4, then you get 4. Then I don't want to stop it. So it's something pretty cool. But you can stop it. I want to stop it because I want to move on another one. So I want to close to this one. Basically, you can close to this one. And if you are familiar with you know, the Jupyter notebook, so basically I want to choose the one. I want to shut down this one, only for this one. But of course, you don't have a file. I can just simply create by Jupyter notebook and name like my first is PySpark file. So this should be fine. So I'm going to shut it down because I'm going to move on to talk about something new today. So if everything is doing okay now, that means I asking you questions. Do you have a Spark environment? Yes, you do. And you have everything running okay in your Docker systems, and your bundle running okay. You are able to share with your folder and share and with your Hadoop environment. That sounds great. So then I will ask you to practice this file. Spark DataFrame RDD file. And first of all, you need to download it. You need to download it. The way that you can download the file. That file is already put it on the. I think I put it on the. There are a couple things you need to download. One is data for Spark. That's a movie data you have to download, right? So if you click it, you will see that's a zip file you need to download. And how to download it? Make sure you download by your Ubuntu environment. So you can open your browser in your desktop, Ubuntu desktop, you open it and you can download it. You can download it. Where you should download it? Please download it to your Spark Hadoop Docker share file, something like here. Because we are going to unzip it, and also we are going to unzip it, and also what? We want to upload everything to the Hadoop system. Okay, so please make sure you download it. And also, you also need to download some files. I'm asking you to download is this called that 2 file here. SparkSQL, DataFrame, RDD, IPYNB file. I put it on the cell installation and cell learning materials. And second, you need to download PySpark recommendation system, IPYNB file. Please make sure you install this, download this two files. Where you should download, please go to your share file, Spark Hadoop Docker. Spark Hadoop Docker share file. Okay. If you haven't done this, please do it now. Please do it now. Okay. It will take some time to download, but it's not very big, so it's just kind of 1 minute. You should be fine. Okay. So far, any question so far? When you listen to these courses, it would be better to open your Ubuntu. If you have like a dual screen, if you have one screen and you have another screen, one screen showing on my Webex, another screen just running on your Ubuntu environment. Since it's a virtual box, you can it's like Windows, just open there. So you're running the system right now. Okay. If you have a question, you want to give me, let me talk about it, the problem, please raise your hand. Also, you just open your microphone. I can simply answer it. Okay. During this time, I just want to make sure you download these two files. I give you the HTML file and also IPYNB file. HTML file is everything it show how I run it, and IPYNB file is simply something that I'm going to explain a bit more detail, and you are able to use it. Okay. It will be easy. Today I just want to go through these two, and then I will assume that you have a capability to run on PySpark, and you know something on that. Okay. Okay. Since no problem, no question, no people raise their hand. Okay. So I will keep going, right? All right. Since everybody mute, so online teachings for me is just kind of talk to the air, right? Nobody responds. Most of the students usually, I don't even know if they are in front of a screen. I don't know, but that's how bad it is. So I don't know. It's really discount on the learning. But anyway, that's what I can do. Yeah. And okay, if you're doing fine, then we're going to move on the first part. That is what I supposed to do. Open. I already opened is on about the file called this file. Python Spark SQL DataFrame RDD processing and visualization. Please open it. But how to open it? First of all, you put it on a share here. Then supposedly on your environment, right here, you are able to see it, right? You have to go back to your home, right? Then your home is a root, right? Or your OBT, right? So you go to your share file. If you forget where it is, please go to your share file, like this. OPT share. OPT share is a exclusive file you share with your Ubuntu environment. So since I download file here, right? Okay, I make it larger, but I cannot see. Yeah. So I download to them. So if you open your Jupyter notebook, then you're able to see your Jupyter notebook, right? You'll be able to see the file because I opened a share file folder, right? You see that? If you're not seeing that, your Jupyter notebook, your root folder is here. Then you can open your share. Then you open the file you just download, right? You see several files here, HTML file here, right? But I want to open the IPYNB on Spark SQL DataFrame RDD. So I already opened it. So that's the file I want to open. So are you doing okay here? Oh, so basically that's example and copy from one of the book in Chinese book. Okay, it's quite useful, but it's a second edition. But I think the author is not publishing any new book yet. So, and also the data, I think this link is doesn't work. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's work to still work too, right? So you can still download it. So it's cool. If you want to learn more, you can go to check with this book. Actually, I have this book, but it's already old. It already a bit old, right? But the data example is still very, very cool. Okay, so once you download, you want to make sure it can be run. So you have to make some change. First of all, suppose you don't need to change anything here. Okay, and you probably don't need to check. So I want to go to run. It's running okay. I want to go to run this one, and it's probably exactly the same one I'm just show you. Right, I'll try to assign the memory. Right, I'll try to assign a core mass how many core I might. How about I just simply put it to right? Oh, oh my God. Okay, I'm changing to okay. I'm gonna use to call because I have a full course, and I set master. A master is on my Spark master, right? A Spark configuration. I already set it, right? So I'm gonna run this one. So during this time, if it is running, you see some warning message coming up, but you don't worry, it should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. So you're running okay, you see that. And at the same time, you can also check your Jupyter Notebook browser, the terminal. You see the terminal, it seems running exactly the same message coming out. Do you see the message coming out? Oh my goodness. I need to make sure I can put this way. Yeah, the message coming up exactly the same I'm seeing here, right? Do you see that? The left-hand side is my Jupyter Notebook. The right-hand side is the browser. I'm using my notebook web-based editor. So it seems running quite okay now. I have a FC master running okay. I'm trying to make it easier for you to read. Okay, do you got it? Okay, so I'm moving on. So once I'll double check once if it's really running okay. I should enter this SC master. It's run okay. Yeah. Then you have to change it. Is what you need to change is here. First of all, you just want to say, hey, if your SC mask is local, that it could be local because you could read a local file. Yeah, but in my case, right now I'm trying to introduce you is I'm not running on old local. I'm only running on the HDFS. So here is a change. If you I'm in this way, I'm a spot on the master of 70077. That means, yeah, I might have my HDFS running okay. So here's one. I want to make sure you understand what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm writing code. You have to change it here. But do you? If you follow exactly the same thing I did, you don't need to, right? You don't need to, right? Because you have to file system running here, you're running okay. So you are running, you are able to run it. So I want to stop here. I want to make sure how many of you have any question or problem, or you are running to this one. But of course, after doing this, you can shift enter, shift enter, shift enter. You can keep running. That I understand. It's not really very boring. But I just want to go through a little bit and let you understand what we're trying to do. Okay. If you're running okay at this moment, you have to ask yourself one thing, very important thing. If you upload your movie data online, go to the browser. If you browse the dictionary, I do have a wonderful folder called ML100K. And when I open the folder, yeah, I read so many files here. Do you have it? if you don't have it from now, everything you are not running okay because you don't have file. Then everything I give it a file, the IP1B is not runnable because you'll see a lot of messages, a mistake or something. So, but if you don't have uploaded, how to do that? So first of all, download the zip file here. Then you can use your Windows spaces to unzip it. Okay, this zip file you can unzip it, right? You can unzip its extract. You can even just try whatever you can unzip the file. So I unzip file, the unzip file, and I should copy the old folder to here. So I do have a folder is on everything. And particularly, I want to open one file to let me show you what the data is. U.user. It's a user file. I do have the file. Okay. And I'm going to upload everything here to the Hadoop. So do you know how to do that? I think so, right? What you need to do is just simply use the, if you don't know how to do it, you can Hadoop file system, right? Just put and ML, the whole folder to whatever, you can type something like that. What does this command mean? It means I want to use Hadoop file system command put to get the whole folder ML machine learning 100K. It's a kind of 1,000 movie. You know, you will see later. I want to upload this whole folder to my Hadoop. Then once you did this, and you have slash, that means I'm only putting on my root folder. Then you get this folder here. You got everything. Just make sure you did this. If you don't have it, then your code after running this one, you are not able to run. Okay. What I mean is that you are not able to run this one because the path is going to be Hadoop master 9000, right? This is your Hadoop file system. The master node, and I want to access the file. It's called u.user. That is the recommendation system model that it show you all the user file. Remember, we talked about last week. We have a callability filter. Callability filter, you usually have the one matrices related to the rating for the one user to read one particular movie, right? And that kind of data, we all have it in this folder. However, you want to make sure you upload to the Hadoop environment. You can assume that can be very, 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 very big. So that Hadoop file system handle those big data issues. But what you need to do is just create use the Spark context, right? That's called test file. You can read test file and read it. Okay. I want to read it as a raw user RDD. It's nothing. I just simply read the text. Then I can count it. I'm not going to run it. Okay. I'm running. It's running now. By yeah. Then I want to check how many users I have. It's running. How do you know it's running? Everything you can see here is running, right? It's running. So basically, it's not read a local file. It's reading Hadoop, one of text file Hadoop file system. So that's why it takes a while. Then I got a result. It's 943. Yes, we do have 943 users. Yeah, it's exactly you like to open the folder and user, you can count it basically. How many of it? 943. 943. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's true. I really read it back. So following one is because it's a Spark's text file folder. Yeah, so if you really want to know the detail, you can actually Google it, Spark. What I'm trying to asking you to do is you can simply access function. There's so many information online, so you just text file. Then you can probably find this Apache Spark, right? And it show you the very complete information about how you do this, how you open it, right? Okay. So what it really return and what's the parameter you supposed to have? I'm sorry, the font size is too small. I want to make it larger. Okay, right? Yeah, you say, hey, what's this function? Read a text file from HDFS, like a local file system. You can also read it from local or maybe online somewhere, and 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 you return it as a RDD upstream. So it's return RDD. The file must be encoded as a UTF-8. Yeah, it's a Unicode 8, right? So we are doing okay because I'm exactly following the same one that what you're asking to do. So then when I return is an RDD data format, it's a resilience kind of a data format that we distributed data. So then we count it. And there are some of the RDD function that you probably want to ask to say, hey, how is some of the structure, right? You can actually learn. So I'm Googling first, so PySpark, RDD. You can say method or function. Then you can show you the RDD programming guide. So that is the Spark 3.2.1. So there's some information, operation, some basic ideas. So you can go through that. But of course, you probably need to make sure you are able to read the file first. So, and you usually provide 3 different versions, like Scala, Java, and Python. And I would basically use Python to show you, right? So if you want, then you can go Google it. You go to the spark.apache.org, and you see a lot of those examples, and you will see, hey, that example is so similar. Yeah, exactly. That decision distribution data set is what we're trying to use, right? Or read a file on that, and we use the summer function based on that. And all information is obviously you can find here. And I will show you some list. Okay. Okay. So if you're running okay from here, then I mean it's simple, right? You just basically read the file. This is a bit long file because I'm kind of want to read the file and go through some of the information you see. I'm going to use count function, then you're able to count it. I want to check file function. I want to list the first 5 rows because the row number, right, is row 5. So I'm doing now, and I also want to. Yeah, it can run. It takes long, very fast. And during this time, you can double check with your browser to see which change. I suppose it's not running the Hadoop file, but you do have a Spark running. You see, I want to check. Browser it. Yeah, yeah, I do have file here. Yeah, but since I already run, so it didn't really change my core, right? But it doesn't matter because we have today, but the daytime is not really running okay, but it's okay because right now I think I think US time, something like that. Yeah, I think it's US time. I didn't synchronize the time. Take the time server of my Spark server, but this is running, right? It's running okay now. Yeah, it just run like 11 minutes, and we complete some work, right? Yeah, some finished work we have done before, but today is running okay, right? So no matter what, we are running okay now. So I'm not sure about you, but I can do this file. I can see the old top user, and first one is a technician. I think it's a man and female, and what's probably is the age is the serious number, and what's a zip code? That's a zip code. Okay, zip code in United States. So it's a five number. So we are running okay. Then right now I just using some of different user because it already is a raw file, right? It's raw data you read on text file, but it's not very convenient, right? It's just separate by the bar, right? So I'm going to do is I want to separate it. So I use some kind of math function. Hey guys, math function you probably know, right? It's a default on Python, right? And the default Python function, you want a math function, you want to read a line, and basically a line, and you want to use a line split function. That's a lambda function. If you're not familiar with this, I would strongly suggest you participate tomorrow morning's courses. I'm teaching Python about this thing. But no matter you know or not, but it's not very difficult to understand, right? I'm just a dummy function that can line, and there is a dot split, and by what? By the bar. So I'm able to separate that. Then once I separate, I can still follow the same one. I want to take 5. And this one right now is going to return the list. Okay, return the list. Because in split is return list. So we're running 5. Hey guys, we have a list of 5. What's 5 people? So obviously that's is information I can have. So if you want, you can continue using the function. Okay, you can use some function like that, right? Because it's right now it's RDD. 5. So, and you can also check online, so you see different function, can learn how to use it. For example, you see something here, we cool. It's a transformation and this different, right? Map, filter. I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can actually learn something. You can quickly take a look. Oh, it's related to some data processing, right? Code groups and pipe is some information. And you can have some reaction, right? You can count, right? I already show you. You can check, right? Check, you can first, maybe I'm showing you how to run it first. And will be just an example. So you can use the RDD first. I want to separate the file, the this because I want to you might get confused because I want to create a new folder. Yeah, I'm seeing it, right? So if you are able to see everything I'm seeing on screen. Of course, I'm not seeing my screen, on your screen, okay? So you mean you are running, okay? You read the user file. That first one user is a 24 years old, is a man, and is a technician. I mean, it's job, is a professional, is a zip file, it's a A5711. So we're going to use it. Okay, so that's one way we can read, right? Okay, and that's another several way. There are multiple way we can handle data. So we already use just direct read the text file, but we also can use another way called DataFrame. Hey guys, if you use in Python, the DataFrame is one of the most popular one um, method the data structure we use quite a lot for the reader file. So I want to go into use the one, and but here that is very different. Previous is RDD, obviously, right? And right now we're doing this a little bit on different. It's a data frame, and we're going to call it SQL. Hey, that's another new thing. So I want to go to read it by SQL style. So I want to read, and so I want to run it, import a bar from the PySpark SQL. There's one thing called PySpark SQL that's very similar like SQL selection, select something from table, select where from or something. So all those things that we can actually use, and we are able to run it because it's supposed to import a bar. Then that bar, the SQL context we are able to use in based on the PySpark, right? So on the PySpark info file, then we remember use the RDD. We can do in a new way. We we do this map file again, but we kind of do it separate, right? And as a lambda file, and it's a P0, P1, P2, P3. It's basically want to identify what is the you mean the data type, right? You try to everything I read here is a text file, but here I'm trying to assign is a data type. I'm trying to assign the integer, the age is integer, gender is a string, and so you kind of do the mapping, the function that you use a map.p, and you have row function, use a row function, and separate them. And so that is a file you continue to read from. What I'm doing, you read from here, right? The file you read from the original text file, and you separate by user split, and you have created a user RDD. User RDD is like string file. It's a list, right? It's a Python list. Then you separate it by create a mapping as a lambda function. Then you read the first, second, every single line. Then you create a new file. And that's user underscore rows. It's very different from user no underscore. User underscore rows is kind of you read every single row, and by which you separate the every single content. So that's technically one of the different data structure. Yeah, the data structure is like this, right? You read by row, and you give it a different name, right? You give a name, right? User ID, age, gender, occupation, divide. That is another way, but it's for to separate data by reading your own row, but we separate that as like a different structure we have. Then based on structure, you can use the create data frame and create read data frame on that. So the data frame is using a SQL context function that we just import, right? And we just can create a data frame. It's one function is called data frame, and by reading this file. And of course, you want to why you want to do this, because the data frame is a little bit tricky. On a spatial data structure is tricky. You have to define a schema on that. So what do you mean schema? You don't know what's the it's more like a table. It's more like a table, right? You have different columns, and what the column name is, what the data type is. So you can actually define it by here. And when you read, you create a data frame based on the data you have. Then we just simple print it. So once you do, you actually can create it by SQL context. So if you go to you take a little time, right? You see it's running up. So you have a code schema function. So the data frame show you I have a new structure. It's data frame structure. You have a user, age, gender, occupation, zip file, and you have the data type. Nullable true or not, but everything is nullable true, right? So it's very like a data SQL database, but it's a structure. Then you can show, you want to see, is the data frame show file. Hey, that result will be exactly like a table, right? And at the same time, you are running, you see, hey, let's save some file here, and you run the result, and you see the data look like this way. Is that cool? It's more like a table, right? It's cool, right? So right now I have a data frame. And the data frame is particular for Spark to use it, and but not only, but it be easy to use a data frame function that you are going to use later. So you kind of a change your name. Your user DF is too long, so I want to change the name to DF, so you make it simple. So DF is supposed to show exactly the same thing here. So if you want, you can also Google it, data frame. For example, I'm going to Google in Spark. Yeah, you see some of information showing here, right? Exactly, that is a same data file you're supposed to reference, and it shows up different things here. But the most of the information you can find here. But I'll show you different language version, Java, Scala. and Python, but I choose Python as my major teaching way. So you have a data frame here. Okay. So that's one way. And we can continue, okay? It's really running, okay, we can continue. Right now, we want to create a table by SQL query. Hey, what's that? It's a little different, right? We have data frame. You already can use the data frame to process the data, DF, right? Data frame is in Python. You have so many different functions, right? Data frame. Maybe I'm not Google, right? I'm gonna Google like the data frame. I'm gonna show you how I'm going to do. I'm gonna say Python. Yeah, you see a lot of pandas data frame you can use. If you don't know what the pandas, well, it's one kind of animal. Yeah, black and white, right? No, it's what I'm talking about. Pandas is one of the most popular library in Python, right? You have a different data processing, right? So I don't need to explain all the things. You can see a lot of materials online to show you, even Chinese or data frame, right? So you can find it, right? I particularly choose in one Chinese document. Yes, it's a lot. Pandas and the pandas data frames is quite popular. You can able to use it. So I don't want to go to this one, but it just simply show you. Then we'll change. But I want step 3. I want to create the SparkSQL. So here's the things. Hey, let's say I want to use a data frame. That's a data frame, right? That I just create. I register temporary table. I wanted to just a temporary table, and then and you call user table. Okay, so I'm going to run it, and that's is registered by the data frame function. You see, it's one of the data frame function register 10 table, and create table. Then I am able to use a SQL to take a look on that, right? So you check this, you get confused, right? Hey, I'm running a SQL. Yeah, and that's a particular folder. I mean, under the table name called user underscore table. I just create, right? And I'm running, I'm select count on that. So I can select count on that. Yeah, you're running. You see it's running. I will count. Hey, there's 943 users. Yeah, that's true. But this one, I'm not counting by the data. I'm not counting by rows. I'm actually counting by the data structure. I will just create a user table. It's a one SQL table, and then we just register the table, and then we just select the table. And I personally like this thing because I'm so familiar with the SQL. I like to use the SQL language very much because I know the database very well, so I can use it and show the data. It's really cool. So finally, you just simply see, oh, SQL contains the SQL. It just show you the SQL statements I'm learning. What's the difference between these two? Only 2 things. One is separate from here. It kind of separate from here, right? But it's separate from here, you cannot run, right? So you only put this. Okay, just put the 3 comments. So, but I don't want to confuse you. Actually, this line is exactly the same like this line, right? As you can see, just you have 3 double quotation here. Okay, so supposedly the result should be the same. Then you can continue to use a SQL to find everything there. So I run this one. It should simply show 900 things. But of course, they only show the top 20. That's by default, right? So you can see it, you can choose a 5. And everything you see is a different way, right? I show a data frame way. So right now it's a SQL way. You can SQL limit by, right? Since it's very simple, I'm gonna go through it very quickly. Okay, you're running by, right? All right, and so once you read this so far, you are able to read the text from original, the movie file folder, and I'm just choosing one particular folder. A file is called user. You have only 5 columns: user ID, age, gender, occupation, zip code, and related. As an example, that you're familiar with the whole system. Okay, I'm running. Okay, I can query. I can show. I can use the SQL to query by SQL context. I'm running fine. Then, so there are 3 ways here. One says there are 2 ways to show data column. One is RDD, one is DataFrame, and one is SparkSQL. Yes, and this document created by Li Dahui is also just showing you a very different way to show the result, right? So you have 3 ways. Right? I'm going to show it differently. Okay. So one is RDD. RDD is decision distributing data. That's what you use when you're mapping, right? And the one, since it's a RDD, we just create a new one and take one. You can separate one. And do you know, I put every single one is tuple, right? You understand in Python, bracket and curly bracket is a little bit different, right? So I'm using tuple and use a list to do it. And if you want to do it on DataFrame, since you already have it, right? So you just simply select which column you want, right? Here is a little bit different, right? RDD, you just read and do the map function. And the DataFrame, since it's already DataFrame, you can use the select function. If you have no idea what's the DataFrame, how should I do? You probably need to learn some pandas. Yeah, then you have to learn by yourself about pandas. Okay, but since pandas is the most popular function, so yeah, I think you could learn it if you know Python. Okay, anyway, so I will use the select. This is select columns. Okay, then I show. I only select 4 columns. Hey guys, we have 5 columns. I select 4 columns. It's fine, right? I'm able to use it. Okay. So you can select it, and you can another way. There's also select function. You give it name on it. Both ways show exactly the same thing. I don't want to repeat it once again. Okay, but everything's fine. Running again. Shift enter. Hey, don't just straight enter. You have to read the code, then you understand. And see, wow, DataFrame in previously, right? So I can use it. There's a multiple way to handle DataFrame. Ours, even DataFrame show 3 ways, right? Do you see? Select the folder, column name, select the user ID. That's the one specified DataFrame and column name, right? And another one is user alias as the DataFrame's column name. The same, right? And this is a DataFrame. I'm considering as a list structure. It's just read and show it. Hey, come on, that's almost the result is all the same, but it's related to the DataFrame. Then SparkSQL is simple, right? Since I already use a SQL context to read it, right? So you can simply SQL context and .SQL, and you just put it in SQL name. And you remember we created a table called user underscore table, right? Let me show you, right? Yeah, either way, it's very simple. It's cool. All right, I'm gonna move a little bit faster, observe faster, because everything you can go to, you can run it. But it's just see, hey, if you want to create a new column, say it's computational. So in the RDD, you have to calculate by that, right? Hey, use the one folder and you read it, and you create. You kind of want to know which year he is born. But unfortunately, right now it's already 2022, right? So you can see that when I first teach you these things, it's 2016. Wow. I think it's the very first time I think, oh, this is about the book, so that Li Dahui is a second edition, right? So how about just change it to 2022? That's supposed to know the exactly the year, right? So since it's the age, right? So I want to see how I went. But it doesn't matter, right? You just change it a bit, right? You can change the result, okay? And everything I'm showing here is one is the RDD way, data frame way, SQL context way. You see, right? You see exactly the same. I mean, probably could change it, okay? It doesn't matter, right? It's a calculation. And you can change it, right? Go back to today, this year. Do you see? That's how we use a different way, data frame way, RDD way is a different way. Okay. And SparkSQL is also similar, right? Yeah. Everything you see is the same. So I just tell you how you did this. Good. And how to filter data. Hey, the data filter is somehow the most important thing we want to learn from, right? Especially if we use the data frame. If you know pandas, and pandas is good on the select data, right? And filter data, right? And everything I'm talking about here is how to use RDD. But RDD will use a filter. Just what I'm showing you on the Apache web page is a filter. Right? You have filter, you have some function there, and you can actually go to. But I will just quickly go to that. This will be RDD use filter, and it will specify. Hey, I want to find the data is occupation is a technician, and also gender is male, and the age is 24. And you can use it this way, right? You can use it this way, especially a particular folder, and you can choose it. No problem at all. You're only fine. Yeah, this RDD. But how about DataFrame? DataFrame is very obviously straightforward, right? Since it already is a data frame, you can still filter and use this particular comments to specify where I want to filter something filter. And do you understand that here is the thing that's different, right? You see, it's a kind of end, right? I want to find the data is all about occupations as a technician and gender is male, and also the age is 24. So that's why you use a filter, dot filter, dot filter. That's particular for data frames and you show. It's more like object-oriented concept, right? So the result is, I think it's totally that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 different people. Is it the same, right? 6 different people. They are men occupation is technician and also the age is 24. So you can do some filter, and that's multiple different filter way, yeah. But results, okay, you use the end, the end. Cool. If you run to that, then it's yeah. Data frame so many different ways. So you can end use this and again and this end, but the results same. But it really depends on how you like. But you know the data type, it would be easier. Is a you know it's an integer, it's numbers, it's long, it's whatever the function. But for data frame, they already even learned this before. It's a multiple way to show, right? You can even use brackets to show. Yeah, you can choose whatever which one you prefer. Okay. All right, then go to a SQL way. SQL way is a user select table. Personally, it's very straightforward for me. Select particular something from the table where occupation this one is. It's so obvious to me. So I'm able to select and calculate and filter out. And you can sort, right? Right? You can sort in that. And RDD, you only use a function called take order. Okay. And the like the RDD take order, right? So you can determine the what's the number and why you take the number on that. You can sort it by age ascending, right? You can sort by age. You want to find out which is the key is age, right? And you can descending it, right? Descending, ascending, yeah. Use it this way, RDD way. And different, cool. Different use a function called order by, right? Order by what the particular field name. I think it's very straightforward, right? And actually you want, yeah, you should get a result the same. And move forward. order by, no problem at all. SQL, easy, because you put in SQL, then here, right? Order and descending, yeah. The default is ascending, right? If you want to put in descending, then you should specify. Okay, and you can sort by multiple columns. Here's an example. You can sort by age and gender, so you can specify. Yeah, I don't want to go through that so slow because everybody know how to enter, shift enter, right? You're able to run this by run, right? But they just go there. I would accompany with you to go through the RDD way, DataFrame way, and SQL way. Okay, we cool? And show this thing is just using function called this thing and collect it. It's RDD, right? That's RDD. So you kind of going to find what is the descending man and then age, right? You want to say, okay. You want to find how many gender, there are two, but you want to find that with the age, there's a multiple one, right? Because you consider multiple um, feature, I mean the columns, okay. And gender, you can see. Obviously, everything you see, why this file is so long? Because I demonstrated them 3 ways: RDD way, DataFrame way, SQL way. And so it's very straightforward. So I don't want to repeat. And group by, yeah, group by is a way of mapping. If you want to use the RDD, you have better to have a very good on lambda function. Right? But some people are familiar with this thing, so that's how they can go so fast. And the lambda code is easy. Yeah, if you learned it before, it's a kind of dummy function you want to specify and in your data set, and you want to specify like that. Yeah. And since I'm doing this group by, right, group data, so it's really tricky, right? How you want to collect it and you want to make sure you understand the lambda code. But if you use DataFrame, you select gender and group by gender and count and show. So this is it's a little bit different, right? You want to count how many people is female and male, right? And here is a little bit different. It's not pretty straightforward RDD, and but no matter what. So that's how the difference is very convenient to use. You select gender, occupation, and you want to count it, right? And count function is new, right? You can basically count it on that particular because you ordered by this thing. Okay, we cool? Group by and order by. And the DataFrame follow exactly the same SQL way, right? So if we go to the one, I don't want to go through that detail. And you can probably see it and you can describe it. And if you go to the SQL way for me is very obviously, right? SQL something, count something, and you also from the certain table, right? Yeah. So and by gender, right? So you're able to show the exact same result like my previous work, group by, order by stuff. We cool. All right, it's almost done here. So far you know how to read a file, you know how to select file, you know how to fill the file, you know how to select, you want to create a new calculation folder. You also need to know how to sort the by, order by. We cool. And they're also examining how much you know about their friend, how much you know about SQL. But since access data on Spark is pretty convenient, very common for us, right? We just put data there when we want to access data, right? So that's very common. So you need to know if you put the data up to you want to use the Spark environment, then there's a multiple way to do this. At least a 3-way, right? RDD, DataFrame, and SQL. You can choose whatever you want, which one you can use. Personal opinion, I like SQL very much because I know SQL very much, but it's very directly. And RDD is a little bit new to me for some, but I still can also use a lambda. A DataFrame, if you know pandas, DataFrame should be easy for you. But here is the thing. So I want to continue working. Hey, I want to join table, but since the user table is just one, but remember, that is one of the code we haven't used it, right? So here I want to go to download one of a particular folder. It's come from the federal government, United States, the zip code. It basically show you where the zip code information. So I have to download the file. If you click it and you are asking to download, I already downloaded, so I don't need to download again. But if you go to your folder, it's a very important you have to understand. I have to check the folder and that you understand what the data is. It will be convenient for me to choose the file on the. I think it's somewhere the code file, right? It's CSV file. Let's open it. But since it's CSV, we open by my kind itself, and you see. Woohoo! That is an old zip file. Hey, I'm looking for where I supposed to live in Indonesia. I used to live in Indiana State. So okay, I'm in my fine. Yeah, I see so many countries, areas. Yeah, I can't forget. Oh, I remember my zip code. I can't remember it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't remember it. 47 something, right? My zip code when I was in US. Yeah. It's interesting. So there's a whole Lafayette, right? 47906. 47906. Where Purdue University was located. West Lafayette, right? Indiana. Yeah. So here's a whole list of zip code in United States of America. So you can basically download it. When you download it, I want to create a table on it and try to join the table with the file we just create is a user table, right? User table. Then we have a user's zip code and we can link it to it and we know, hey, that guy's is where they live. And you originally have the one of the columns just called zip code. And right now we can link so maybe you can find where we need this 47906. 47906 is one of the code I used to live in West Lafayette, in Indiana. Where is it located? Purdue University located. So I still remember the code. Oh my God. So I would read the file, I download the file, I put it on folder, upload to the folder, right? The Hadoop. So you need to make sure your folder, the file is in Hadoop. Do you see? I put it here. So once again, everything you want to read the Hadoop file, you want to upload it on your Ubuntu and upload it. Then right now it's a Hadoop, then you're able to read. So you read the file and yeah, which is I just take the first two lines. So it's kind of interesting. You kind of do it again. You read the file, cool, and the first line is a header, right? Do you notice that? First line is header. So, and I want to follow is the eccentric. So I kind of retreat the header. I want to take it off. I'm not taking off by using RDD data set. I want to load data without headers, right? With header, and we could take it out. I don't want a header. So it's a very cool function that I don't want to header. So then I see, oh, all that raw data is right now is the zip code file. Then I want to separate file. I'm mapping and repress some file because I want to repress this thing with the original because it's a escape, right? It do have some escape file. It's escape a signal. I want to show you where it is. Right? especially when you look at the data and you want to escape something that you might fish in. So I kind of create a escape file. I want to repress out the space. So that's cool. So we got a data on that, no problem yet. Yeah, we see. Yeah. See what's the main differences here. Okay. I think now to be I also repress the file. It's a RD file. You kind of mapping, right? Okay. So anyway, I'm keep doing this and split it, right? It's a CSV file splitting. I know right now it's a list, right? Do you see it's going to be transferred to this? Sorry, I only go this step by step. Okay, I want to do this. I want to just split. Yeah, cool. Then I want to create this table. Basically, it follows exactly the same way. We define the schema of data frame first, and I will use a SQL to create table, like SQL context create data frame. So basically, you just kind of follow the exact same way I did. So I have a data frame. Now I want to join data frame with two table, right? And auto join is a user right? We have one of the table called zip code data frame, and we used to have a previous one. It's a user data frame. So we kind of zip it. We kind of combine two, join the two model. So that's a new model. Then right now the table is going to be bigger because you join two table, right? So here just want to show you that you are able to join table by using the the system that I want to see, right? You are user ID account Zico and Zico, you join, right? And Zitai and the city and something. So you can combine. So let's show the first 10 people here. We see, we can see the data. Yeah, we see some people's event etc. And we know where it is, which city, which state. Okay. So I'll keep running it, but this is exactly the same data you supposed to have it. I want to make it bigger, right? It will be easier, more convenient to see, right? This is user agents and Zico, and we can combine join table and see where the people live in, right? And let's join data frame. Is you can easy to show where, for example, New York is New York State, right? I want to see New York State. Okay. Let's see in New York State. Let me see in New York State. Hey, how about let me find in Indiana? I will see. Okay, I will see. City. Uh, sorry. Oh, oh, oh. And I want to give the city equal to West. What's it like by you? See if I can find. It's running now. Yeah, that's supposed to be. 47906. Magical. Okay, cool. Hey, that's your student. As in that data set, right? In that data set, I never tried this before, but I'm kind of lucky. That's a female student in that West Lafayette enjoying this movie data. That's interesting. I didn't try this before. I'm just checking. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I bet that it's a come from the university. Okay, anyway, so that's how I did it. I joined GTable and find it, and try to find the people where they live. Okay, then I can start goodbye the state. I'm see how many people in that data set. Which state here has more people in the table? So it seems like. How about older? Okay, group by older by. Yeah. Okay. I think I can do this. Kind of forget it. How about a Can I do that? Yeah, I can do. How about doing it by count? Do that? Seems okay. Okay, can put it descending, but no problem. Let me see. Okay, let's take. Wow, California, more people joining in the data set. Cool. And I can create SparkSQL, right? Since I create the table, I will just create. I want to create the data, the joint data frame, right? That's how I just create data frame, and I want to use SQL. So I want again just register the data, the code table. I want to put the table inside. Previous way is a DataFrame way. This way is a SparkSQL way. So I'm putting on table, and then I can join. I can select, right? I can select, and of course, if I can select, I can join table by using a SQL knowledge. Yeah, exactly, no problem. So I'm go to that. So do you see that's more complicated? Table is join, left join, zip, and equal to these things. It left join table on something, right? Yeah, on something like this, and of course specify where the state is in look. Problem. I'm gonna see this, but since I want to see that, I want to also and see and the city equal to. But you don't need to do this. I'm just personally curious. What's the city I'm from? Oh, typo here. Oh, sorry, really typo. It's Z, not X. So I'm doing the task. I'm supposed to find one person, no? I think that's one person. Oh no, there's no person because I need to change it in Indiana State. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Wow. Woo. Yeah, okay. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm just changing courses, so that my results will be different from you, but doesn't matter, right? So I'm doing that by state. I'm doing sorting, so you are fine. But since it's SQL, so group by, I can order by too. Yes, I order by by count. Oh no, I cannot do this. By this. Oh, sorry. How can I do it? Yeah, it's doing okay now. It's go by count, but it didn't count order by. How about by oh by count star? Let me check. Yeah, I can count. Yeah, this is very obvious. Yeah, the result is same, right? So I can probably right panda data frame because you have pandas, right? You can import pandas and group by. You can group by two pandas. So that's something you be no pandas. So I can create a much beautiful. I think much beautiful data frame you have, right? Group by that because the data frames they have it. So these are the same, right? And you can group by the data frame in pandas, and you can import a matplotlib. Basically, it's a mathematical plot library. Then you can plot something like this. Yeah, it's cool. So you can kind of understand which people are more than we, as you know, California, more people. I think if you know how to plot, it's easier, right? So I don't want to go to detail. So then I can select occupation based on that. So everything you can do is you can use the Spark languages. I kind of show you today. I can show it and a very different way. And the last one is simply pie chart. It's a kind of occupation. Based on occupation, show the proportion of people. And I think it's used kind of, pandas functions. You can plot, you can use the pandas as a function to show the result. And the the figure, and I mean pie chart fancy, right? It's very fancy. All right. Since I will go through that, do you understand what's my purpose? I want to quickly show you the multiple way to do analyze the data, and you can find it by using pandas and also NumPy, whatever knowledge you have learn from Python, and you is almost the same. You are using Jubian Notebook and running Python on the browser, and you can simply see the result response, and but everything you're running and have to do in Spark, and you know how to use RDD and Spark. That's very important. Okay, I want to take a short break. Okay, and come back for the last one. And this one you probably need to learn a little bit. And the only time, 10 minutes break. I want you to do one thing. That is tricky because the one, I just noticed that your what would I say, your master node and first data workspace node haven't installed NumPy, so you have to install NumPy for each node. How can I do it? So basically, we want to log into root master. Okay, I want to show you how to do it. And during this break, you can do this, but before it, you have to be aware of what I'm trying to do. You need to, for different node, you want to install very different. You want it for every single node, you need to install NumPy. Somebody asked me a question, right? Yu Wei asked me a question. Let me see the message. Sorry, I didn't get it. What is it? Okay, I want to show on screen. 老师请好，请问方便提供有在线的助教名称吗？ Oh, you want to find the people? They are online. TA, right? You are asking people in TA, right? Cool. That's where TA is. Let me see. You want to send message to that, right? I got it. Okay, we are taking short break here. Maybe we can come back like. You probably can ask. You want to ask me? Maybe you can ask Peng Yang or maybe Yanqi if you're online. If you're interested in asking, okay. Yanqi is much better because you're facing some trouble. You can ask them. But Chinese, no problem. Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. The last one on this. Tong Yang and Yanqi. Is that okay? Okay. So okay. I know we want to take break. Okay. We want to take break, but I want you to make sure you don't break. You will install NumPy. For example, how to install in master? It is simple. pip install NumPy. Right? You can do that, right? And since I already installed it, you will say, "Hey, you already installed it. Cool." Then I want to shoot it out because why? I want to go to a different places. How can I do? So you need to use the knowledge you have. You kind of already know when you install it. You know you want to go to different container. I mean not container. You want to go to the different worker. Then you have to know here's the ID, right? Container ID. So I want to first leave, and I wanted a Docker. What's the comments? PS or something? Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. I forget it. Comment. Oh, but no, it's fine. I have a make a note here. I already make a note. Yeah, I already make a note, so I can know. Oh, Docker PS and A. Okay. But you want to sudo Docker PS and A. So, oh man. typo. So I want to find out, right? So here's the one. I will use this for master. So I'm going to jump to the first one. So you can simply copy and paste and use a function you use Docker executes, right? So let's get Docker. So I want to go to the one. Do you understand what I'm trying to do? I want to log into my worker and to install the NumPy. Because it's not originally installed in that environment. So then you will facing trouble. I will face. So I'll log into it. Do you see worker? I'm going to worker, right? So I'm going to do is I will pip install NumPy. Okay. But of course I already installed it down, right? So I'm is that again and I want to check. But here is obviously always like a rollback and see where's the workers ID. Then I can go to another ones. So I don't need to do this Docker again. And see. Do you know what I'm trying to do? I'd go to different server, different data nodes to make sure they. Do you see a worker two, right? I'll go to worker two. I'm pip install NumPy. Cool. And I'm back. Okay, and I will need to go to my original one because I never changed it. The server haven't shut down yet, so the ID is the same. So like the ID is the same. So I will go back to master. Cool. Yeah, I'm in master now. Okay, I want to take a short break, 5 minutes. If the only time even if you can drink some water or you want to take a rest, but at the same time, if you know how to go to the different worker node and master node to install NumPy, pip space install NumPy, please install it. If you don't, then later I will show you the recommendation system. You are not able to run it because you see the error there. Okay. Okay. Let's come back. Let's come back in the 320. Okay, 320. Let's come back 320. Okay.
老师，要是我们要不要创一个群组，就是给学生加进来直接问问题啊？因为我怕学生如果是用发信或是直接私信。
Oh yeah. How can we add a line? 你们 prefer 用 line 吗？
对吧？就看学生是用什么。
Okay. How about we? Hey guys, let's join a line. I can do it. Let me do it. Because I'm gonna share my screen. Add me first. I will create a folder and I will add you and let me log in. I will create a new group. So let's say BDA. You will have to because sooner or later we have a final project. We want to set a group. So let me create. Let me find a group. Let me find Yanqi first. Yeah, good idea. If you have question, I'm only asking people to join me. So I will add some people. Suppose who is it? Who will be Tong Yang Xiu? Okay. Did I? By the way, you didn't what's your username?
那个麦克痛
Mike.
是
Yeah, I can't forget. Mike. Okay. All right. I will create a group. Then I would like to go big data courses. I'll call it big group. I mean everybody. It's supposed to be 2022. Okay. Okay, I create a group. And wow, cool. And But how can I invite people to join? So what should I do? Should I do? So everybody need to, and everybody need to find me first, right? So I only let everybody join me, right? And I can add that, right? Wow, it's going to be tricky. How can we do this much better way?
老师应该可以有什么群组的条码，还是邀请什么的，把
Yeah. How can I do
提
that?
供给同学。
有个 QR code，
啊，在哪里？
编辑群组，
编辑群组 ，OK，
好，按邀请看看，邀请。
No. Should I use my phone because it's a desktop version? Let me call. 好像有可以用一个QR code 对不对？怎么现在 I don't know how to do this better. Let me find a good way. 没关系，我们现在休息时间哈，我们来解决这个问题。How can I do it?
老师，不好意思，那个手机可以开 QR code， 但是电脑版没办法。
对，所以对手机可以，对不对？
老师，我把群组的条码分享上去了，老师可以把这个条码看打开还是怎么样，让同学们
我看到了，
入。
那怎么办？我要怎么加？
老师直接点开那个图，让同学们在那个 Webex 里面就可以扫描。
哦，你在这个群组里面是不是 ？OK。Good idea, yeah.
对，直接扫描那个就可以。
Hey, everybody. Oh, but you will go off.
老师应该可以直接点开。
Yeah, we can.
直接点开就不会划掉。
Hey guys, hi. Yeah, good idea. Smart. Okay, good. 看能不能这样。Hi, student. You want to join my group? You can use this QR code. Let me try to use the QR code. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Good idea. Okay. Let me try and make it smaller. I think it's too big. 好像是下面比较清楚，真的很奇怪。Okay. Yeah, you can see on the screen. Smart. Cool. More people join? Yeah, since a lot of people join. Yeah, if you join, it's good. If you have any question, you want to ask in the group or setting or something, it will be convenient. And the TA is here. And if you want to ask a question, you can leave a message here. Cool. Okay. We still have like 5 minutes break. Okay. Let me. Hello. Yes. I think the next part I want to talk about is just another file. Yeah, by the way, if you haven't have a chance to join the group, you prefer to join the group than my group, so I only assign it. I would really recommend you join the group because sooner or later, our final project, our EMBA student, they provide data and project to you I will assign you to that group. So if you have a question, you can directly ask them. Basically, it's all everybody online, right? But now our TA and our EMBA student not supposed to answer immediately, okay, right? Just you can leave a message, they can try to find it. So it will be very important, right? Somebody asked me a question, right? I don't see a bit of a group, right? Sorry. Somebody asked, hi, will you upload the class record on the Moodle today? Oh, you mean the record? The Webex recording? Yeah. I do have a recording of a previous one and this one, but I think okay, I would do it once again if you want to listen to. Okay, cool. 慧茹, huh? I would do that. Yeah. You mean the video, right? You mean the video, right? Okay. I will upload it. But it will take some time because the Webex usually take a couple minutes to finish the recording. I still recording it. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Then it's a good idea. Then you can double check if you will miss something. If you are interested in Spark. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to continue. I will close this Sparkle. If you want to join the group, then you can ask other people to help you to let you join. Yeah. Hey, add me. That's a big data courses in 2022 and big group. And sooner or later, we will create a separate group for your project. Okay, good. And yeah. I will come back to my Ubuntu system. Okay. Suppose if you know how to let every single node, master node and worker 1, worker 2, the install pip install numpy, then it will be good because the last one for today, I would like to talk about a movie recommendation system, and that would be another folder. So I think I can go to this simple slide, simple with use. I will give you the I think next time you can download from Moodle system. Collaborative filtering is something I already teach them, right? Remember, we need to handle writing a very big user item matrix. It's a very sparse, right? That is already mentioned last time when we in this class. Okay, sparsity problem. So matrix ID. I want to go to that detail one. So you're supposed to have one. So that's one of trick. Once we get this matrix, we are writing them. Some of the data is 0, so it's sparse. So that's one area called matrix factorization. The idea is to decompose a big matrix to 2 smaller matrices. And one represent the user, another one represent items. No, so that's certain technique people are actually use. You can Google matrix factorization. You see a lot of paper doing these things. Okay, and that's some of the research, especially about matrix matrix related mathematical research or computer science area. They're talking about this thing, how to handle those sparsity on the matrix of the matrix. And but anyway, that's some examples. So when multiply land together, we produce a this matrix rating equal those is 0. So the idea is that matrix is too big, right? So if we have several way to separate and make it smaller data, right? And here's the ideas of matrix and factorization ideas. Hey, how about we create one of them? So this matrix is a 4x4. I'm sorry, 5x5, right? So is that possible to create a 5x2 times 2 by 5 is still the 5 by 5. Do you understand what I'm talking about? It's a matrix multiplication, right? 5 by 5 matrix can be 5 by 2 times 2 by 5, right? Yeah, that's the idea. So the question how we can do this, right? So there's a matrix of factorization issues. So that's a D. D is obviously a smaller number, right? So where the D usually called rank is chosen from small enough for computation efficient analysis. So the rank is something that's related to the ordinary algebra, right? We're trying to find the most significant information that we can capture from the original matrix, right? And so here are some issues. You probably need to add bias and the average ratings, right? So you kind of not exactly know exactly the original data, but you add biases to use items. Each user's average rating will be different from others. So the average rating of a particular item will be somehow different from the average across. And what does that mean? What does it mean? That is so many different items. Suppose we can take averaging cross over everybody. But of course, every individual one has its own averages. So it's kind of a rating based on the different category. So consider this one. Here's a simple example, right? Here, I'm sorry, where is it? That's the original matrix. So how about we calculated the user bias against the average for the individual one. So overall average is 3.22. So you kind of take the conditional, yes, maybe it's good way. The conditional averaging, right? Is the average, is the average, is the average, as the average per user. Then you use the information trying to calculate the bias for each individual one. And use the information to create a new matrix, right? So that's going to be the optimization issues. Consider bias and user items. What's the adjective function? You want the sum of the square distance between the predicted rating and actual rating. Then it turned out to be the optimization problem. Then we're trying to find a bias, the user item which can let us to have a smaller square distance. The square distance is, as you know, root square error, right? So that's the idea someone trying to do this. So in order to do that, so yeah, that's multiple different methods that we can apply. So in Spark, machine learning library, there's one thing called alternative least square. So as you already know, that what average formula problem is optimization problem, right? So we kind of try to find which is optimization problem is obviously we are supposed to be all familiar with it, especially for industrial engineering people, right? So what is and ALS is one of the collaborative method and try to reduce this, the distance, right? So you're going to, that's why we want to practice this movie recommendation, IPYMB on your Jupyter notebook. That's what we practice. And you can find some resources based on that you can see what's the matrix multiplication idea. But no matter what, that is something that we are going to use our we are going to use our example, and we're going to show you, right? It's called, not this one, I mean, I'm close to this. Confused somehow. I don't need this one. And this one called movie recommendation file. It's not very long. And basically, I want to demonstrate how we're going to use the data provided to you, ML100K. And let's just suppose they'll upload to your Hadoop environment, right? So how do you run it and use the ALS is an alternative to this script problem. This script optimization problem is in your machine learning library in Spark to run the recommendation system. Okay, it's cool. Yeah, basically we know some background of the recommendation system, called filter, and how we can use it. the real code to do that. So first of all, we only create an environment. So at this moment, you have to stop the original one because he shared exactly the same contents. What does that mean? I want to see, because the SC has been occupied. So I want to stop it. So back it would be safe. I will stop it. Okay, and I will make sure it is closed. How about I shut it down? Not shut down these guys. I want to shut down. So I'm gonna shut down, refresh. You can see it's not running now. So I'm running my movie recommendation file. Okay. So I think in very beginning it's quite the same, right? You want to create a Spark context, right? SPC, right? You create a Spark context and when running, I'm running the things is running. Oh, yeah, obviously he didn't. The Spark context has already been changed. Okay, let me stop it. Let me reopen it. I'm sorry, because the SCC have been used, right? In all my Jupyter notebook, the SCC have been used. And let me close it. Restart it. Oh, this one. I got this one. So I'm gonna leave it. Okay. I want to close and shut it down. I want to close it. I want to click it again. Okay. Why I want to do it, I want to explain once at a time because the SC is a variable have been used, so it have been occupied. So I want to run it again. Cool. I want to run this again. Nice. You got warning, yeah, you got some warning, but it's cool. So I want to make sure SC is running. Okay, cool. You see, it is exactly the same, right? It's everything is the same, like our previous example. But important thing is I want to read the data. The previous one I read, what I read? I read user, right? Right now I want to read data. And data is what data? Well, let's take a look on this. The data. It's a relatively large data set. You can probably see by the way you see the data. You see data. Data 2 megabytes. Others is a couple bytes. You know, data is a large data set. What does this data mean? You can see there's a number of data. You see ID. You see a rating on particular things, right? So obviously the data is a rating data. Rating data. Everybody see? So I want to read it by the what things that I would just learn, right? I want to read. I want to read, and I'm going to run through it. Okay. So I want to read the file. So I would see that how many data points there is, and that's why that's 100,000. So it's 100K, right? So it's a totally 100,000 rating data you can have. It's read by customer. So we have data set, and you can read. I'm reading now. So it's continue. You see 100,000. Cool. And we got data. Then we can take a look on data. What did you like? Oh, you can see something like that. Okay. And then you see that's one tag, right? /T is separate by tag, right? So we already know the data is separated by tag, right? So we need to separate later. So we can do, okay. So we can read the data, we can print it, right? This is a tag. It's a tag inside, but you cannot see it, right? It's tag. So we can print it, so everything looks fine. So I'm going to print an individual one. So no problem, right? We can print it. So okay. So right now, here's important. I want to import a rating module. So in PySpark, that's a machine learning library, you see, and in machine learning library, that's a particular recommendation system. So if you like, you can simply Google it. You Google it, you see, oh, source code of Python machine learning library. You see some people talking about this. How you doing this? And that's the ALS, right? And in ours, there's one way to talk about, right? Recommendation system, right? And you can see some function here. So, but basically for machine learning, you need to have training, right? You have testing, right? So all the concepts is the same. Here, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, what is training, what is testing? Okay, you're supposed to learn them data mining first. Okay, you're supposed to learn those courses, data science or whatever, machine learning or data mining or whatever you want to code as AI. But these courses are only more practical on something. I'm not going to explain all of such what is training data testing. I would expect that you already have that kind of knowledge. Okay. But of course, if you don't really have it, you can let me know. I can explain very efficiently to talk to you what's it at. Okay. So no matter what, I will go forward. I want to import a file. As this is rating. So remember the data I have, I can separate it. Okay, I'm separating split the data from each line and by the best ratio. So I'm going to get the data. I'm going to just take a sample, right? And there are multiple ways. I'm going to create a rating data set. So it can be here. I use the RDD way. Okay. You might say, hey, professor, you just teach me the RDD way, DataFrame way, SQL way. Yeah, but either one is the same, similar. You already know. The only difference is use a tab to separate data. But previously we use a bar, right? And CS use a comma, right? CSV use comma. You just know how to do that. So we can keep the three most important data points. And one is rating, right? And rating is you want to know. What you want to know is what is the rating? Obviously, sorry. I need to go from top, right? We go to this one, then we go to this one, then step by step. Then you can keep a data set because you want to create a rating, right? And so number rates. Okay, 1,000, right? Number of user, right? We can create a number of user. Yeah, how many user? 943. Is that a number we use in our previous example? Yes, it's user data point, right? Which you calculate. So you think that's a huge amount of rating data, is 100,000, but there's only 943 people there. And also we can check how many movies. So obviously you see the data set, there's a user. The first column is user. Second column is movies index. Movie is a number, right? Number of indicator of movie, right? And 3 is a rating, so from 1 to 5. Like 5 is the best, 1 is not so good, right? So that we are able to do a user, number of user, and with the number of a movie, right? You kind of counting that how many movie we have there. We only have like 1,682. So here's huge amounts of rating, but not huge, by the way. It's smaller, but it's small enough, maybe big enough for you to examine this example, right? So we have around 900 people and about 1,600 movies. So we have a rating on that. So we are going to use that. So we're rating some precisions and want to train the model. But before training model, we want to import ALS. This is a alternative least square method, right? So when you import it, and here's some parameter I was rating for you. So you check parameter rating and rank iteration, how many you want to run. Our regulation parameters from 0 to 1. If you don't want to change it, it's going to keep it. And blocks and non-negative way. You want to see the difference. And this random number C, you can change it. So it's a randomized. You want to change the training model. So here I will set it like a parameter, like rank is 10, number iteration run 10 times, and last lambda, so I will set this point for 0.1. Then let's training model. So do you see what I put it into? rating RDD. Rating RDD is exactly like ratings RDD, right? Ratings RDD. Ratings RDD come with 3 columns: 1, user; 2, movie; 3, ratings. So we put it here, then we just put in the model. And that is important. When you put the enter, shift enter, then you might pass in a mistake, error. And why? Because if your computer, you have 3 nodes. Right? Remember, I'm just asking you to do master node, worker 1, worker 2. If you go to the individual one and run the to install NumPy, if you running this okay, then you're cool. If you don't have it, that's the problem. They will see, hey, no module called NumPy. They will feel, hey, I installed in master node, why? But you also need to run on the data node, right? You have 2 different slave nodes, so you have to install all of them. Okay. So anyway, I'm running it. It will take a while. You should run in, you see several states, and so far it's no error, so it seems it's running okay now. It's still running, right? Do you see? It's still running, it take a while, right? It's stage 24. If you are able to see what is your Jupyter Notebook page, you see, oh, it's running, right? Stage 12, stage 13, 14 is continue running. Right now it's running to the, that's a 60 stage. So it's kind of running pretty busy. But we need to be patient, right? It's running now. Yeah. Oh, it show up. You see the model is running. So it's very similar like most of Python's model training, right? You train the model. The model is you already have a training data, you train it, right? So you want to build model. So hey, wanted to comment something, right? And so think about this. The model we already have it. Wanted to comment product to the customer 100. So I want to recommend 5 different movies to them, right? But of course, which one you wanted to recommend? You want to choose the one as a more rating. You predict the rating is high, so I want to choose one. For that person, want produce. I want to recommend 5 different movies to them and come with different rating. Okay, and the rating is do you see the numbers here is weird? Of course, it's a predicted number, predicted, right? Do you understand? Predicted number, they predict. But it predicted 5.75. Okay, it's a little bit extrapolated, right? It's over the boundary is 1 to 5, but it's still like guessing, right? So I think okay, it is tough. Do you notice it provide you that from the largest to smaller, right? So that's a top 5 movie. I want to recommend this particular user. So and so you can take a look. Okay, yeah, and you can also use a way say, hey, the model you already running, right? You say for that 100 person number 100, you want to ask it, say, hey, how about the movie 867, the movie? If you want to watch the movie, what's the rating for that? So there's a way you can do is also use to predict. So you predict the rating would be 2.3 something. Don't be misunderstand. Everybody might have a little bit different result like me. But why? Because there is a random number C over there. So since you run them every different time, so you have a different average number, you can create different bias, right? So don't misunderstand. Yeah, once you have model fixed, but my model it might not be the same as your model because you have your random number C. Do you understand that? It's very similar. You run the random forest, right? You have some random number C. Every time run the result probably different, but you usually like to take the average on it, right? Okay. So 2.3. 2.3 is not very large. Okay. So obviously we can recommend user the product. So for example, you choose it another way. Say, hey, for the product for the particular movie, which 5 user I want to recommend them to watch. It can be done, right? As well, I'm just introduced last time about it. Item user. Okay, so on. Oh, by the way, last time I didn't recall. I think I recall it. Oh, last time when I teach a recommendation system, that we already still in the classroom, right? But unfortunately, last Friday I go online, so I recall one piece of the recommendation system, the whole piece. If you want to review it, I can provide a link to you. Okay. But that course is for the paragraph student, but the content is same. So I will provide you. It's all taught by English, so the same, right? So you would like to have it. I'll provide it to you. Okay, no problem. So you mean the movie 200? I can recommend the user 5800. That's 5 because the rating is quite high. Do you see that? Okay, but I want to be wrong because the result is different. Right? Oh wow, the rating 7. Whoo. This is so is liking very much. Okay, so you want to show the recommendation movie's name. Be aware, we just got rating. We got a user's name, but user name, how I link with that? We got user ID, right? So we go to link with the users u.users table. Cool, we got it. But how about movie? Yeah, we got a table called items. Hey, let me open the items. We're almost done for today, but I just want to make sure you understand what I'm trying to do because the data I provided to you is very interesting. That's the movie data. And that data has so many information. Toy Story, my favorite. I like Toy Story very much. Okay. And maybe you'll see some movie you watch it before, right? And but first of all, maybe it's too old to you guys. Maybe, hey, Professor, 1992, I was not born yet. Yeah, for sure. But I'm sorry, I'm the old guy. So some of the movie I already know. So it's a movie information, say which years and when it on bar. It even provide you the web-based IMDb. It's so cool. The data set is nice. So we got data. So let's go back to our Jupyter notebook. So we have to read the data set. It's about items. Cool. If you put everything on, say how many movie? We have 1,682. That's cool. So we can spread the data because you use a bar, right? Split the data, and we're going to do some mapping. That you can do, and you can even check this how many movie we have. Wow, that's a lot of movie, right? We got a movie and this indicator, that's index. So the first movie is Toy Story. Yeah, I like Toy Story very much. You see a lot of different movies showing here. We have 1,000 different movie, and people actually give rating. So you can pretty much more, use a photo, but it's pretty better. Don't be misunderstand. This is just copy, just a movie's name. So we have movie title. That's a movie title is number 5. Index is the total is 6, right? Index. Hey, Python start with 0, right? You know that, okay? You know Python guys. So once we have that, we have a recommendation. We just have a recommend for the certain people. I want to recommend 5 movies for that. So then we can link with those movies title. Then we can know what kind of movie we really want to recommend for that customer 100. Wow, that's a movie I never watched before. I'm not familiar with those movies. But no matter what, it comes with a score number. This is pretty high, so I would recommend that. And that's it for today. Basically, that is a very initial. I mean, what I'm saying, very early. What the first example for your use of Spark and on Hadoop, right? And I'm not sure if you really go through that. I'm not quite sure. Actually, after I asked my graduate student, I think not all of them are ready, but please make sure you understand this part, because I try very hard with our TA and try to prepare all these materials for teaching you how to use Hadoop and Spark. And everything you're supposed to go to a very detailed. You want to check with a function, you want to go to the equation, then you are able to handle the data Hadoop and by very different way, RDD way, different way, SQL way. And the last one is a recommendation example, right? The recommendation is an example, then you can use and learn based on data provided to you. Is a kind of real world movie data. You have rating, you have user, you have items, different movie, and those data you can learn how to use it. And as a learning app, you can learn by how to use in listen how to. But basically, you see most of the things are the same. But different thing is that you have to learn how to use a Spark machine learning library. And Spark machine learning library, you can actually Google it. I'm Google right now for you. Machine learning library, right? And there's machine learning libraries here, so you can check, because right now we are Spark 3 already, so you can see if there's a new update and algorithm, right? Let's just make it larger, then you can understand what I'm trying to see. Yeah, your classification, right? Naive Bayes and regression, regression model, general linear model, survival, right? Decision tree, random forest. People like random forest quite much, right? Gradients and yeah. So recommendation alternatives ALS. But these things I only have ALS for recommendation. And clustering, K-means, GNM, the most popular one. Topic modeling. RDA is used for text. Right? You know that, right? Frequency. I'm not sure. Do you know that? No. Maybe I will talk about this later. Association rule, sequential pattern mining, right? Sequential pattern mining. Yeah, this sounds interesting, right? But it's a workflow. There are so many different pipelines, and you can learn from it. The SBD, PCA, this is distribution linear algebra stuff. There's a statistics summarizing. You have so many things. But is it a complete everything? No. So because you use a Spark, that's still limited, but at least you can get to those. And if you want to use a Spark to learn something, and you can run Spark right now, it's a STEM EC2, right? The EC2, I think is Amazon stuff, right? The Meso says Kubernetes, okay, HDF is SSD, Apache, Cassandra, HB is high. He handled most of the popular one, the data set you can have. So I think right now I say logistic regression Hadoop. It takes so much time, but Spark, woohoo, so fast. So that's why people are thinking Spark is quite important for them to improve their efficiency. Okay. I'm not sure if you're really learning okay, but it can be run on JavaScript, Python, R, even R, right? I think Python is the one that when you use it. So no matter what, yeah, it's code is simple. It's run K-mean. Do you see K equal 10 P the data come out the result? So of course you will go deeper if you want to use those machine learning library in Spark. But I think this process is kind of open a window for you to take a look, and you can install it by yourself on your computer. I know your computer is very limited performance and memory is not enough, but I also built one of 250 gigabyte memory server, and we allow you to use the data for your project, but before doing that, you want to get familiar with all this stuff. Okay. Sounds good. So finally, I try to introduce these two IPYMB bars. If you have any question, you can leave message in the group and chatting. I will make a recording on these today courses and I will put a link to you, and then you are able. I will put a link on YouTube, and you can have a YouTube link, and you want to take a look again and check if you go to all detail. Suppose it should be straightforward. If your environment okay, everything running fine, you know how to install a NumPy for every individual node. So suppose everything I provided to you for IMTP, IPYMB, I'm sorry, IPYMB, the Judim notebook should be runnable. You can get a result and you'll be excited. You can change your code, you can learn something, and the data is really there. You can work on this. Okay. I think I will start recording, and that's for today. If you have any question, you can still keep it there and give it some comment or ask me a question. Okay. Let's stop this.